well, traffic's going smoothly, I'll go the other way.
I'll give you a little pro tip though. There's usually traffic at all the same places at the same times every day.
Ah.
But that's cool too. Hi, Senator. Good morning, Minority Leader Senator Chris Duenas joined us on the show this morning. Hi, good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Joe, sir. I'm going to make a prediction, a bold prediction. The ITC intersection is probably color red in all 4 directions.
Yeah,
that would be right.
I don't think you need Google Maps to tell you that.
Yeah. It's a 4-way thing, but basically it looks like a big red shamrock right now.
Right.
So
probably backed up all the way to Airport Mobile and.
7:40 morning. We're doing good, Senator. So, what did you make of that veto of the suppressor silencer bill?
Well, I think it's kind of expected. Given the narrow margin, and I just think the continued, probably maybe the misinformation on what actually suppressors are designed to do and how criminals don't use suppressors. But, look, I look at it as this. We've now had a good conversation in our community. My folks who have reached out to me who are on chats that I know that are regular, either gun enthusiasts or law enforcement people that have been supporting this bill. We're supporting its passage. We're disappointed at the veto. Maybe it's just about continuing to have the conversation within our community, because obviously it is a select group of individuals that constantly use firearms either for their job or their career, or enthusiasts who really do a lot of work on the range and do a lot of hunting and do a lot of practice shooting. So maybe this is an opportunity in the coming months and years, perhaps, to constantly educate our population. Criminals do not use suppressors. Criminals do not apply for suppressors. Criminals use illegal guns, illegal acquired or crude manufacture of anything to silence a gun. But you know what, Chris? It was expected, at least from my part, and we'll just move forward from here.
It kind of sounds like you don't have the votes for an override.
Well, I think what's important, on every override, and I guess I'm the override attempt king of this legislature.
How's that working out for you? What do you like, over?
Yeah, haven't been successful yet, but when asked, Chris, why do you keep moving forward on this? And my answer is because I think people are still not understanding, or at least maybe either some senators are just so politically aligned that no matter what information they're going to have, they will not vote against the governor. Or for some reason, the message just isn't clear enough on what Bill 11 really does and why it is truly about accountability and transparency, particularly when it comes to government expenditures and how the governor is spending money. I think I'm just drawing a parallel, Chris, that in order to be able to, I think, get a comfort level or enough critical mass for senators who are dug in on issues and who are not going to, decide on more education, more understanding of what the policy purports to do, then it's up to my good friend Senator Abbott to decide. But I would think that he would do this if he were to attempt that, it would be based on more education, more understanding, and a shift in position. I think, like I said, taking the opportunity to tout my lack of success as of yet, but I still think the principle is important. And maybe in January, or maybe in February, or maybe in March, when people are absolutely sick of, being under a public health emergency, but I guarantee you today, Home Depot, Kmart, Payless supermarkets, the malls, we will be packed in side by side, trying to decide for 20 minutes, whether or not we're going to buy that gift in front of us for our loved one next to people shoulder to shoulder, vaxxed and unvaxxed.
Yeah.
But we will be in a public health emergency, Chris.
Yeah,
And
I get what you're saying, Senator, and I was thinking about this as I was shopping yesterday. I went to the mall. It was totally packed. It was super packed. But I feel like we know what to do already, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is emergency. I don't know anymore. Seems like it's just being used to make all kinds of moves behind the scenes, right? Like the actual emergency, the actual threat of people getting sick and dying. To me, I don't see the threat as imminent as it was. I mean, even with the Omicron variant, obviously the administration doesn't feel like it's a real threat because they would be doing things to prepare for it. But I understand that there's just always going to be this specter of a COVID variant, but I feel like we do. I mean, for the most part, unvaxxed, vax, whatever, we know what to do already. And I'm going to knock on wood because I was thinking last night, you know what I was thinking last night, sir? I was thinking about this mask thing, right? So there's 3 of us in this little studio. I mean, Jason lives with his elderly mom. I live with my mom, right? And she's vaxxed, boosted, all the whole deal. And I was thinking last night, I just want to take this freaking mask off. You know what I mean? But then I was thinking, doing these things they've kept me from getting COVID. Like, I've been so lucky to not get COVID. And I was out there, you know, the food lines and going everywhere, and I never caught it because of this stuff. And it becomes so easy to be like, oh, I'm just freaking tired of it. But then I got to remember that this is what kept me safe during the pandemic. And I'm not like, you know, I go around. I went to the mall, I eating out. I'm not like a stay home and pull the covers over my head kind of person. But I just think, like, baseline, if we just wear the masks and do the things that, you know, we're supposed to do, then what's the point of this emergency?
You know, Chris, I had to pick up a quick lunch yesterday. And obviously when I go into places, you know, we all have that moment of we're halfway to the door and we feel something's missing. It's not the keys. It's not, did I put my sunglasses in the car or are they in my pocket? It's, oh my God, my mask, right? Turn around, go back. But you're exactly right. I mean, we diligently go back to the car. In the drive-through, I forgot. And I was okay. You know, the attendant said, she said, you don't have a mask, put on your mask and close the window. I apologized. I said, I'm sorry. Put it on right away. We did our transaction. I was on my way. And exactly another example, Chris, of where we really do know what to do at this point. And I was kind of I think it was probably our last interview, Chris and Jason, because you know, the governor brought back the you know, typhoon condition in this last speech where she said, board up like it's a super typhoon. But you know, the thing is, Chris, if you look at the public health, I guess the public health briefings are now regular and weekly because maybe they're not choosing to do the KUAM.
Well, no, the reason why they're weekly is because they're not as busy as they used to be doing all the things, you know, trying to fight the pandemic. It's like slowed down so much and now they got time. Oh, now we can go on every week.
Yeah, and what's interesting, Chris, was that it's the same message, right? Same message is you unvaccinated people are the problem, right? With 93% vaccination inclusive of natural immunity. No other jurisdiction, you know, it's a straight up talking point, okay? But what I don't understand is why isn't there a report on, this is the latest investigation of why that last 6 or 7% of people aren't vaccinated. Do they have a different cultural aspect? Are they people who don't, you know, aren't aware of media on a daily basis? Do they not get the information? Do they not have access? Okay, we already know the group of individuals who continues to maintain that they're healthy and they're strong and that they believe or they had COVID and they believe in what. We never get a report on that. Why is the whole report on the last 7 to 8%, these few thousand people that are the absolute threat to everybody else, when we know factually and scientifically that there's no difference of transmission from a vaccinated and unvaccinated person, interchangeable. Here's another thing. I was at a party and I was speaking to a medical professional who obviously agrees with my position, but he said, this whole thing about restaurants and vaccinated and unvaccinated being separated, it's like an admission that the vaccination doesn't work. Because why should a vaccinated person be worried about an unvaccinated person in terms of transmission when it can be transmitted between two vaccinated persons? It's the wrong message, is the point I'm trying to make. And if you want to bring people along and you want to get over the finish line and get to 99.99999%, and even then, probably the proclamation wouldn't be said that, okay, we're completely safe and nothing ever is going to happen. You've got to work with people, and you got to find out, as some of our good friends on the national scene say, what are the root causes, right? But simply continuing to divide people and have the same narrative week after week after week. And I was disappointed because we got the super typhoon condition of readiness that was declared for Omicron, but we still didn't get an update on, hey guys, good news, monoclonal antibody deliveries are now up to 1,500 individuals. And those are individuals who are healthy and thriving right now because vaccinated or unvaccinated, they had symptoms after testing positive.
Yeah, Senator, I drove by the MAB treatment center in Mahilau yesterday, and it was packed. There was like 10 cars in the parking lot.
Amen.
So yeah, it's good.
God.
I mean, yeah, that's great.
Thank God, and I'm glad that that here on the link, what I mean. We're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to talk about the wide array of what we need to do to combat this virus. Not just I'm dropping the hammer. I'm keeping the emergency on because I have to continue to spend all this money everywhere at my own will. And you guys just go ahead and sit over there and be good boys and girls, my senators, and then also not continuing to exchange real changes and opportunities. Leadership is about bringing people together. Leadership is about making sure that everybody's at the table, understands what you're doing, and takes ideas and information and may implement it. And sadly, on the eve of Christmas, albeit, I think it's important that we go into this Advent season understanding our duties and responsibilities as individuals and as taking on the responsibilities of taking care of our people, and understanding that we need to be more open, we need to be understanding, and we need to have more conversations with our people. And so that's my take on that. And I really hope that coming into the new year and throughout this, maybe there's some reflection as we reflect on the reason for the season, our Lord and Christ Savior, as we celebrate that and then go towards the new year. My prayer for this Christmas season is a change of heart from the administration and working with the legislature and closer with the people of Guam to make things better and to be more realistic about the real issues in our community.
Me too. I pray for this administration's heart as well, Senator. Reminds me of that movie. What's that movie, Jay, where there was that guy and his heart was like the size of a pea, but then when he started like giving a little, it's like his heart got bigger and bigger until he had a regular sized heart and he was capable of loving and empathy. It's called The Grinch, Jay. You might have heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah. The Grinch, he had a tiny little ass heart because he wasn't hugged or loved.
You could either go with Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, it's a common theme.
The
It's Christmas.
Grinch.
Yes, it's a very
The Tin Man for the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Just need more heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, Senator, I feel you. Like, I'm not all into the crazy, the vaccines going to make you magnetized. I just think that at this point, with 90 whatever % we're at, like the rest of you knuckleheads aren't going to take the vaccine. They're just not going to take it. Get over it. They're not going to take it. Okay. Then there's other people who are sick who are just not going to take it. So focus on the people who want to get the booster, right? If that's the issue and we got to get protected, just focus on that. Get the messaging out there. But I just feel like a lot of what's happening is they want to hold this threat of the Omicron variant, and it could be real. I mean, any of these variants could be real, and we could be right back in a Delta situation. I mean, at the snap of a finger. But that doesn't mean that they should continue to get away with stuff, because the way I look at it, it's like hey, look at the COVID over here, and then meanwhile it's like I hired this person above step, I hired this person above step, I'm giving this person all this money, moving money. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on that we just can't focus on because we're moving in this pandemic set of circumstances. Like, did you know there's something that they didn't even announce really, but Chima Mbakwam is no longer the COVID response. What do they call it? Incident commander. The incident commander of COVID, which I think is kind of like a big deal because he led us through the whole pandemic, and now I think he's back at his communicable disease thing. And then I heard former Senator Fernando Estevez is now the incident commander for the COVID response. So things like that happen that you just don't hear about, you don't know about, because there's this idiotic ban on people coming on the link, which is really crazy at a time when we need to get messages out about, the governor says board up like a super typhoon, then come on and tell us how to board up.
I know that's the point, Chris, and that's exactly. I've been asked several times, and I've enjoyed this. Right, I've been stopped on walking in the store and whatever else out in the parking lot. Hey, Chris, I like what you're doing, but just give me a little bit more reason why you're really focused on this, right? And I said, because I've never been the real, hey, I'm going to have a bill every 2 weeks introduced and, a press release and all that. That's just never been the kind of person and senator that I believe that is effective just for me, right? I mean, it's others, that's cool. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying that's not what I do, right? So I was like, to me, when you have to focus, and that's what I ran on, you focus on the fact that the administration has this immense power. And the responsibility of the legislature is to check that power where the rubber meets the road, and that's exactly everything you've been talking about. I mean, these stories are going over time and time again. Above step recruitment issues, money going here, money going there, having to match local funds. I haven't even seen the CRER for December yet. Having to match local funds with a resource to help our businesses survive when there's ARP money available. All this stuff happens because the execution of the laws of Guam and all of the things that control the government, it's a tedious process. And if you don't focus on the accountability of what's going on, and you only pay attention to the distractions that are put up around you, that's how we lose so much time and we don't keep track of what's going on. Thank God for the media. Thank God for what you guys are doing and everything else by bringing up these issues, because otherwise, you could see what happens to us. We just get ignored. Yeah. And we're duly elected individuals, responsible for that co-equal branch of government.
Yep. I mean, slippery slope, Senator. What we've seen is that the governor flexed her authority during this pandemic. You guys flinched, and the rest is history. She just kept going with it, and now it's a position where, I mean, you guys have been painted into a corner where, the governor has limited. I feel like she's really limited how you guys can interact, and I mean, it is what it is.
Well, Chris, and you know this, and I hope you're going to be in a chair one day, and some of your other friends who have really understood what's going on here. The body will act as a body, but an individual senator has their own power too. Yeah. I'm not going to stop talking about this. Yeah. I'm not going to stop focusing on this. Do I have 2 or 3 bills in the pipe to introduce next year that are going to be associated with economic development, diversity, and things? Yes, they're coming, and they're going to be good bills. But what am I going to concentrate on right now? If I'm that one senator, or with Senator Brown, or with Senator Jim, or Senator Tony, or Senator Frank, or other groups of the minority, or other individual senators, Speaker Talahi, who's been absolutely a leader as far as I'm concerned in making sure checks and balances are there. Hey, to me, if the body cannot move with a majority, the body can still move with a group of individuals or individuals speaking out saying, I'm not with that. I'm not with abrogating our responsibility, and we're just not going to do it. Yep. If I could give a gift to the people of Guam, going into Christmas, I hope it would be a gift. It's that I'll never stop fighting for making sure that you got the information you need with your resources, your tax dollars, federal money that's designed to help you and serve you. I will continue to be that person that's pushing the button.
Thank you, Senator. We got to go at the top of the hour. I did want to ask you about a couple of things. Well, first of all, that Supreme Court ruling, death to the game rooms. I mean, this took long enough, right? And I'm sure you saw that ruling here where they finally ruled on the Liberty machines, and the AG said that they're going to begin the enforcement process. It's been a long, drawn-out thing, and I just really feel like the only reason why these Liberty machines, these game rooms, have been allowed to thrive on our island is because the political power of, people like Senator Amanda Shelton and her family, which is very involved with these game rooms. And we all know who's involved with the game rooms. So I feel like some people having a not so Merry Christmas.
I've always believed that those machines are a scourge on our island. I've never supported their existence, and I'm glad the ruling came forward. One of the reasons why the legislature really never had a role here is because of the fact that there never was a duly adopted law, Chris. This had to be a lawsuit. This had to be the AG. And I tell you, this over decade-long fight, it's amazing it's taken this long to get here. But you simply cannot have a process in law, and that's what the Supreme Court said. You simply cannot have a process in law whereby the statutory requirements of public hearings, notices, and everything that's associated with rules and regulations to be adopted is foregone. And that's why they said there is only one fix to this if you want to seek a remedy, and that's the legislature. But I'm a no vote on that.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm wondering is, are we going to see next year any of these shady senators trying to introduce a bill that, undoes what this court ruling has found?
I don't know, Chris, but Mark, I know you mark the segments on your show. I'm a no vote on any introduction of a bill like that.
Thank you, Senator. Hey, Merry Christmas. Right on. Are you singing in any of the masses?
I've been singing on the side. There's a
you got a side gig, huh?
Yeah, there's that still that COVID restriction, and so there's just the three guys up there, and they're doing a great job. Yeah. I just kind of moral support and sing on the bleachers on the side. That's what some of us choir members that aren't part of the first string right now, and in all fairness, I stepped aside because I am unvaccinated, and a lot of people know that. And I've never hidden from that. So I want to also just make sure that I, live by the rules as well, making sure that as long as there is, a distinction, that I keep everybody safe, keep myself safe, and make sure that, I'm a team player. And
so
until
you're not a crazy unvaxxed person. You're just unvaxxed.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just a regular COVID survivor.
Wait, can unvaccinated people sing though?
Yeah, absolutely. Unvaccinated people can sing, and I'm not saying it's a rule that was imposed. I imposed it upon myself because I want to make sure that I don't go against what things are called for in terms of commingling in areas and stuff. And so I just made that personal decision. But I'm there for moral support. I sing on the side, and when this thing works out, I'm hoping that someday I can rejoin the active family on the bleachers.
Senator, you can still harmonize from 6 feet away, though. That totally works.
Maybe I sing a little louder because I'm in the bleachers.
Right.
There you go.
Hey, thank you, Senator, for your time this morning.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, take care. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. I really mean it. And people of Guam, God bless you, and Merry Christmas.
Amen. It's 8:02. We're going on KUAM TV. Yes, we are. You know it. On this eve of Christmas Eve on the Breeze side, we're KUAM FM, Agotnia, Guam. KUAM TV, here we come. Good morning.